You're listening to the Night Demon Network. Go to nightdemon.net/subscriber to unlock more exclusive content.
Hello and welcome to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. I'm your host, Nesbit. A few weeks ago, an email was sent out to Night Demon subscribers, and a post was made on the Night Demon forum. The band, they put out a notice of a live virtual hangout. And the first subscribers to reply got an invite to attend and ask the band anything. So as a result, we have a pretty cool episode. Lots of new breaking Night Demon news. This is Ask the Demon Live. So, Ask the Demon Live. So, during the initial lockdown, the guys were all in Ventura, California, and they were pretty active writing and recording, very productive. And then as the months kind of dragged on, they decided to take a bit of a break, and they took some time apart. So, Jarvis went to Northern Ireland, where he is in complete lockdown. Armand is still at Night Demon HQ in Ventura, California, and Dusty is in rural Pennsylvania. So they're pretty spread apart currently. So this was a pretty great way for the band to kind of get together, see each other, talk to the friends, talk to their fans, you know, a chance for the fans to ask the band questions and get answers and kind of put the guys in Night Demon on the spot. So in the subscriber section, if you're a subscriber, you can view the video replay of Ask the Demon Live, and it's cool. There's lots of Night Demon shirts, and you can see some people's cool Night Demon collections. It's cool to put faces to names, too, especially a few of these people have contributed to the podcast in past episodes. The Satan's Den episodes, the episode on In Trance, and there's going to be more of these in the future if you want to get in on one. A future virtual hangout with the band. Sign up to be a subscriber on nightdemon.net. I was not on the call. I was in the woods at my cabin, and I wasn't able to tune in, but I was really happy to be able to see the video of this, so I didn't really miss out. And now the video, I'm going to edit down a bit to make this podcast episode. I cut the first few minutes. It's a Zoom call. You know, the first few minutes, everyone's trying to figure out their microphones. You know, people are muted, trying to get their camera sorted out. But you're going to get all the content and all of the news. So let's get into the call. And like I said, the guys in the Night Demon basically said, ask us anything. You know, no holds barred, no questions go unanswered. And as a result of that, we got a lot of breaking news and some inside scoops, a lot of info that I think a lot of fans were kind of wondering about. You know, there's details on new music, exclusive news and info on a new upcoming Night Demon full-length album. Info on the rescheduling of the canceled tour dates from this year. Dusty gives a scoop on making drums and his equipment. There's some stuff in there about limited edition releases, like re-releases. A reissue that's actually being re-released today, the day that this episode is released. And we even get a surprise appearance from Jarvis's mom. So enough of me talking. Here's Ask the Demon Live.
cool, man. We've got all you guys here. We've had some other people that wanted to be on, but you guys were our first to respond here, and so we kind of just we want to get everybody in the episode, and so we may do another one of these in the future. But for now, we are stoked to have all you guys here. Cool. All right, everybody's muted. We could see everybody there. So, okay, here we go. Welcome, everybody, to Ask the Demon Live. This is the first time we've done this. Hey, hello, everybody. Good to see all you guys here on Zoom. So we want to get everybody in this episode. So we're going to try and keep it somewhat brief, but, the goal is to kind of just, when we call your name, just, you can introduce yourself, talk about your relationship with the band briefly. Anything you want to say, any anecdotes about the band, that'd be cool. And if you have a question for us, we will answer it. And we will give an honest answer. And that's what's cool about the podcast is, we've got a lot of listeners every week. Obviously, you guys are the diehard, hardcore supporters. And instead of just putting stuff out on social media, all this information that just kind of is just in one ear and out the other. I mean, we really do want to talk about a lot of things here on the podcast that, if you're not listening, you're not getting the information. So anything that you guys want to talk about or ask us, stuff that we're not supposed to talk about because of whatever reasons, we will talk about, and we'll do it here. So great. Here we go. So, all right. First up, we got Charlie Meister from Buffalo, New York. I'm going to ask you to unmute your mic there, Charlie. You there?
Awesome.
All right.
Yo, what up?
Hey, what's up, Charlie?
So cool. Hey, I'll try to make it quick, though. Guys, thanks for doing this, first of all. Personally, I actually don't remember how I discovered Night Demon, but I know it was back in 2015 in the early days. And like so many things, I was a day late and a dollar short. I found you guys probably on YouTube, or it might have been a suggested artist. And right away, I was into it. It hooked me with the sound. It goes back for me to capturing those first couple Iron Maiden albums is what really resonated. And I was like, oh boy, I got to pay attention to these guys. Lo and behold, I find out you guys were in town like 2 weeks before that at a little place called Broadway Joe's here in Buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
And I do that. I discover bands right after they leave town. So that's how it goes. So the bad news is I haven't seen you yet. I was set to actually cover a show. I take pictures, you can see above. I was set to cover a show here last spring when you guys were supposed to tour with Satan, and no go. So we're looking forward to hopefully either putting that tour back together or whatever it looks like, either later this year or next year. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit today. But I'm itching to see you guys live for the very first time still. So,
wow, that's awesome, man. Okay, yeah, I do definitely remember that show. Dusty, you remember that show in Buffalo?
I mean, I'm a Dolphins fan, so I try to forget about Buffalo, but no, honestly, I don't, because, thinking about that time in our career, we were, just trying to get by. So I'm sure there was a lot of drinking and sleeping on floors. And
yeah, I want to say that was probably the winter. If it was 2015, I think there was like a blizzard at that show. Yeah.
Was that with Skullfist?
That might have been on. Yeah, that might have been on the Skullfist tour. Yeah. So, yeah. That might have been the show that they didn't show up to, remember? Because the Polish...
No, that was in... that was Amityville.
No.
They came to that one.
They were in Amityville. I think it was upstate New York.
Yeah.
They couldn't get the Polish girlfriend across the border, remember?
Yeah, I do.
I
do remember that.
But that's cool. Yeah, we've got some information about the rescheduling of that tour for sure that has not been announced that we'll talk about here. Was there anything else you wanted to ask, Charlie?
Well, my question is actually probably more of a suggestion than anything else, quite honestly. I know on social media you guys have been talking about new music, and that you'll kind of get going with that once it's possible to tour again. Sure. So my question is actually more of a suggestion. I know you guys have talked about new music coming out when you're able to tour behind it. So I'm not going to waste my question on that. What I would love to see, though, is all of that awesome stuff you guys put out last year, the covers, the singles. I'd love to see that in a nice vinyl collection at some point. I know we'd all pick it up, right? Nice little splatter vinyl, something sweet.
Okay. All right, cool. So here's an exclusive right here that we'll say, and again, like if you're not listening to the podcast, you're not going to know this. We get so many comments on social media from probably the same people too, not you guys, but just other fans that are like, they ask the same thing all the time and we don't really answer them on that, like just in front of everybody. They get angry too. Like, where's the new record? And where's this stuff? And it's like basically what you said, Charlie, but they're like, just like feel entitled. They demand that happens now, So the idea with the singles is, those songs will be on the next record. So there will be, the next album is basically a compilation of the 4 original tracks that we released last year. There's probably going to be slight differences to them as far as the mix and, Armand's talking about tweaking a couple things lately, which is cool, which I want to hear. Those are the single versions. And then the second side of the album is something that we've already recorded. We're working on. I'm actually the last. I'm kind of not dragging my feet, but having some challenges here finishing this. But all the music is done. I'm working on the vocals. And yeah, that's basically that. Those singles were meant to be side A of of the next record, and this pandemic hit, and we totally had to shift gears in a lot of ways. We were really fortunate that the plan was to do those singles, and that those were still in production before any of this stuff happened. So those will be a part of it. A lot of the stuff, with Night Demon, there's not really. It's like rare for us to put something out like a single or an exclusive track or something else that wouldn't be featured on an album, so that's but that's a whole nother can of worms with the singles campaign. We enjoyed that. And the covers, look, we've got a lot of covers in our history, a lot of recorded covers, and I'm sure there's going to be a compilation at one point of all of this stuff. But right now, that's the place where you can get it. It's only on those singles on the vinyl. And for you subscribers, you can stream it on the site anytime you want. And if it came down to it, and you guys really needed the track, just email us, and we'll send you the tracks. It's no problem. This is the inner circle. We like whatever you guys need, and we trust you guys and all that stuff. So sorry I don't know if Dusty or Armand, you guys wanted to add to that.
No, you pretty much covered it, bro.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie.
Good to see you, brother. Take care.
Yeah, man. We'll be out to Buffalo again. Much to Dusty's dismay. So we're gonna. So this is the way it goes. We're gonna mute you now, Charlie. And if any of you guys, when you're done, if you got to take off, we understand. But if not, hang in and listen. But we'll all hear each other on the podcast next week. So thank you, Charlie.
Hey, so I'm going to interrupt every so often if I have more info to add on what the guys say. If you're a listener of the podcast, you probably have already heard this on a previous episode. The new Night Demon full-length album will be titled Year of the Demon. The exact release date is scheduled for April 15th, 2022. So you heard it here first. This is the first time it's been announced. It's going to contain the 4 singles, Are You Out There, Empire's Fall, Visteria, Kill the Pain, but not the single versions, the versions that were released. And it's more than just the mixes that are different. These are going to be different versions. So there's you're going to have the single versions and then these new versions. The rest of the album, I've heard instrumental versions of the rest of the album. It's one of the perks of doing the podcast for Night Demon. I think it's going to blow minds. I've never heard anything like this. I wish I could say more. There's actually more details on that in an upcoming question, and I'll mention more when we get to that question. But Year of the Demon, April 15th, 2022, new full-length Night Demon album.
All right, David and Clarissa Stover from Dallas, Texas. There you guys are. let's go ahead and unmute your mic there.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey.
What up? How's it going?
So, we first heard a Night Demon in 2017. I remember distinctly a friend of mine, we were going through metal videos on YouTube. And just like Charlie, I was just instantly hooked. I scrambled to buy and find everything y'all had done to that point. We got married that fall, and even, I don't know if I told y'all, we played Night Demon's cover of We Will Rock You as our exit music out of the wedding venue. We met y'all the next year, and we saw you in Fort Worth, and then we begged you to accept the 70,000 Tons of Metal cruise. So we saw you twice on there, and then we've seen you in Tulsa and Austin.
Yeah, killer.
Just followed you everywhere, and couldn't say more. Charlie, you're missing a great live show. I feel bad that you haven't.
He'll be there.
Don't rub it in, man. Poor guy.
Yeah.
That's our Night Demon story. We love you guys. And so our question was, everybody knows all the challenges we've had. So I'm kind of a glass half full kind of guy. So we just wanted to know what kind of things y'all have done individually to stay band unity and Night Demon morale high. And
It's funny you say that. We're actually like 5,000 miles away from each other right now. You know,
it sounds like y'all still want to stay together. But Dusty wanted to know more about your drums.
How you make your drums.
Yeah. Well, a friend of mine taught me how to do that in like 2011 in Ventura. And he used to work for Patagonia Surfboards, and he came up with the concept of fiberglass drums with the cloth and the resin. And, we're a couple of high guys, so we got in the garage and smoked some weed and started making some drums together. And turns out that they're, usable. And he considers them more art pieces, where I consider them more, like the instruments that they are. Right now, since I'm in Pennsylvania, he's actually in New York right now, so we're not really making any drums, and normally it's something that we just do for ourselves, and every now and then you'll get some sales for some people and stuff like that. But I have a kit now in Europe. I got to use it on the Sacred Reich tour, which ended in 2019, right before the pandemic. So there's a drum set over there that I'll be playing over there. Then I also have one in Ventura that I built identical to the one in Europe. So they'll be out on the road with us when we start touring again. So you can ask me all the questions, but when you see them in person, that's when you really get the idea of what it's like.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Dusty builds his own drums, and the company is called Thump Drums. But he's built his own kit, and he's got 2 identical kits. We have one that lives in Europe and one back home in Ventura. So that's what he was referring to specifically there.
Right. Actually, another kit that I was playing that I built was, a kit that we went out with, the red and black one. When I started playing in Night Demon in 2014, I had just made this kit, and then I took it out and started playing that. So I have played them in the States, but never...
2013, yeah. Yeah,
never had them in Europe. So we would always rent gear. So we were like, well, we always spend all this money renting
and
drums.
They're also featured... They're on what? Kill the Pain... And the 100 miles per hour recording.
Yep.
Anything else?
Well, the rest of the album that nobody's heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll say on my end, on the recording side, they sound really good.
Yeah, I recorded with them on Curse of the Damned, my red and black kit.
Oh, right. But the newer stuff,
right.
Yeah. Armand has firsthand knowledge of.
But like Jarvis called them, I was using baby toms back then, so now I have all the big boys.
Yeah, well, I hope some of the other guys start using them too. That would be really cool.
Yeah, it's a cool thing for sure. Thanks for asking. Appreciate it.
It's good to see you guys. Thanks for having us on here. We really appreciate it. We can't wait for a new album, more merch.
Great to see you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. some old friends there, very good friends of ours. We've done a lot. Oh, I will say, David saved my life because I was sober on the 70,000 tons of metal cruise. Except for he did sneak some weed on there, which was nice. Because if you can imagine, all you can drink for a week on a boat, and you're not drinking, it's a little tough, So, but he managed to make that work. So, all right, cool.
He managed to make sure the other two weren't sober either. So thanks, David, and thanks for the Christmas. Hey, the Christmas, the Master Reality coffee cup.
Yes, thank you.
He sent that, right?
Yes, he did, and he's also.
Thanks for that, David.
There's also another thing. They made us. Him and Clarissa made us a sign. It's like of the EP cover, and it says like employees must drink from the chalice before returning to work. And we put that up in our bathroom there at HQ. We'll take a picture of that and put that up on the subscriber site. So yes, thank you. We really love stuff like that.
Me again with a little more info. If you want to see pictures of Dusty's drums, it's Thump Drums, which is at Thump Drums on Instagram. Dusty also has signature drumsticks from the London Drumstick Company. londondrumsticks.co.uk, and you can get 15% off with the promo code DEMONSTICKS, all one word. It says this on their website. It says, these sticks are absolute monsters. A 17-inch 2S model with an oversized acorn tip, thick neck, made with high-density hickory. I'm not sure what even that means. I'm not a drummer, but... And then it goes on to say, Dusty's sticks, like the man himself, offer an extreme mixture of strength and power, designed to slay the drums night after night. So, like I said, I'm not a drummer. These are very cool looking, though. They have a Night Demon logo, the Night Demon sigil, and Dusty's signature on them. And I actually have a pair of these on the way. They're in the mail as we speak. And if you're wondering, because sometimes this can be an issue, but if you're wondering, shipping to Canada was pretty cheap. It's shipping from London. I figured maybe shipping would be really expensive, but it wasn't at all. I was surprised. And I don't play drums, but these are going on my shelf next to my Nico McBrain signature sticks. I don't know. What can I say? I'm a collector. Anyway.
We're going to Berlin, Germany. Sebastian, let me unmute you here.
Oh.
What's up, dude?
You hear me?
Yeah, what up, dude?
Cheers.
Hey.
So, first of all, good to have you here. At least on screen, my friends. I'm almost drunk, but But 9 p.m. here in Germany is almost sleeping time, We go to sleep early,
Oh, party hard. Yeah. I don't wait, hold on.
That's the
Armand.
time we usually get started.
Yeah,
What are you
Armand.
talking about? Hell no.
I go to sleep quite early.
Armand, please
okay.
please, you've hung out with him in Berlin, and we picked you up at what time? At 9 a.m.?
8 o'clock in the morning.
Don't know, you had
9 a.m.
It was 10. 1 hour before your flight went.
Yeah, and Armand almost didn't make it because he was that drunk.
Yeah.
That was pre-pandemic times. Now we go to bed earlier because things aren't open to go party. So I've lost my ability to stay up that late. So,
I doubt that.
I understand. I'm in bed at 10 too,
The other two guys, Jarvis and Dusty, just wanted to go to bed, And Armand is always the guy who wants to go out, have fun, have party, all that. So we decided to go out and have fun and have party. And after all...
And eat kebabs.
Yeah, kebabs. And after the bars closed, we decided to go to my place and sit there in my kitchen and have some Jack and Coke and whatever. And then at 10 in the morning, Nicholas called you. And
it was a good night. Thank you for hosting me.
So, you want to know how I met Night Demon? My first time seeing Night Demon live was at April 26th in 2014. It was the Keep It True Festival, actually. And I think only a handful of people in Germany knew the band before. You stepped on stage and you had only a bunch of own songs and a few of cover songs, but from the very first tune, I fell in love with you. Not in a gay way, but I fell in love with
That would be okay.
Yeah, it's all good, brother.
And the whole crowd did. You I think you remember quite well.
I do, yeah.
It was like magic. It was pure magic. I thought, wow, that's the band. That's it. That's a new generation. That's it. And you reminded me so much on the early Motorhead, not in a sound, but in a way you act, like the Three Amigos, like a unity, like three guys who want, who know what they want. Mm-hmm. It was quite after the gig when I went to the merch and met Armin and Dusty, and I knew immediately from this moment, I knew I'm in love with this band. I told you 1,000 times when I was drunk and when I was sober. Mostly I was drunk, you know.
Yeah, we know.
But very sincere.
You are my favorite band nowadays. And after this all together, I counted. I did my homework. I counted. I saw you guys 31 times.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
31 times in 23 different cities in 6 different countries. That's a good thing. You are my favorite band, of course.
Amazing.
Oh,
Thank you,
brother.
man. Thank you so
Sebastian.
much.
I can't fucking wait to get on the road again with you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sebastian is a great photographer. He's actually, when he's sober, he travels like in very dangerous war-torn areas and he's like does photojournalism for like legitimate publications, and like it's crazy, man. He's wearing like an army helmet and a flak jacket, you know, but he's actually he's followed us for a lot of shows, and his plan is to go on tour with the band and make a photo book, an official book of photography from the road. So
I'm really happy that you, especially you, Jarvis, like the idea of the photo book. We talked about that several times. I got so many nice, great pictures of you guys, and this will be a great book for all the fans, for all the diehard fans, but for everyone, really.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Thank you, dude.
Sweet.
Great.
You fucking rule, man.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Sebastian. Cheers,
Right
man.
around, brother.
Thank you.
Cheers, brother. Okay, let's go to Toulon, France. Olivier Brulot, please unmute your microphone, sir.
What's up, dude?
Please unmute your microphone. You got that? Oh, he's already drunk.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
What's up? How's it going, brother?
Oh, there he is.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much. So I discovered Night Demon in 2014 on the internet, and then immediately felt in, and I bought the EP. And after that, I bought all the records, and I love your music. The first time I saw you, it was at Metal Assault in Germany in 2015. And after that, in Marseille, you came 4 times in the town that is close to my home. And there's not so much heavy metal bands that are coming here. So I was very happy to see you so close. It was a good. And I always had good time with you because you're very nice buds.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Marseille, France, which a lot of people say is not France, right? That's right, guys? I mean, that's what, right? I mean, that's what, when we go there, it's the most like southern tip of France, right? And it's kind of a rough area there, but yeah, we've always done shows there, and we've always had a really good time there, and crazy times. I remember the band apartment that we always stay in over there. Remember the first time we were there, Dusty? We were it was brand
really
new.
nice.
It was brand new, and like we were one of the first bands to stay in there, and they're like, "Don't mess it up, don't do anything." And we were really conscious about it. And then when Armand joined the band and we went back, I mean, the place was just in ruins. Like it was just like
trash.
Totally smelled like cat piss, and it was terrible. But anyway, yeah, man, thank you. We've had a lot of good times with you at festivals.
Oliver's wine.
Yeah, you remember.
Yeah.
Oliver's wine has got us through it. on those shows. I remember that.
He's always
Thanks
bringing
for
the
good
wine, the French wine. Yeah.
Best.
Do you have an additional question for us?
Yeah, sure. You in the video you talked about all stuff that will come out, on 2 CD. If it's possible to have some details about it.
Yeah. So we here's another exclusive. This is great. And we don't care about when people listen to the podcast, they deserve to hear this stuff, and that's fine. So actually, next Friday there's a reissue of the first EP coming out on cassette, Digipack CD, and High Roller has reissued the vinyl on a few colors. So we're gonna have a few of those in our web shop. But in bigger news, after this next week, we're gonna go into the early days of the band and the podcast, and we're gonna start from the very beginning. Actually, before the band even started, we're going to start talking about, how long Armand and I have known each other and the bands that we were in high school and stuff. And Dustin, before he moved to California from back east. And then we're going to start with how the band started. And we've got so much material for this. I don't know, it may run 2 or 3 months, but we're going to go all the way up to Curse of the Damned. Okay. So, we're going to go through that. And so a lot of times when you're compiling all of this stuff, all of this archival material, the wheels start rolling in your head and you're like, wow, we've got a lot of really cool stuff here. So to answer your question, the short answer is, yeah, we are planning the ultimate edition of that first EP. And we have demos of those tracks that nobody's ever heard. We've got the full live show at the first Keep It True. We've got tons of stuff, and there's a lot. It's crazy. Yeah, there's over 2 discs worth of material for 4 songs. So there's a ton of stuff. So we're excited to do that. We're planning on doing like a book with it. So there's going to be a lot of information. And what's cool about the podcast is not only does the podcast dictate kind of the bonus material that's happening on the site every week, but it also serves as kind of like a reference library, if you will, of the real history of the band. And so we're able to, when we put deluxe editions like this together, and people have talked about writing books about the band before and now have cited the podcast as a great reference for that. But when we do this stuff, we're able to use this stuff as a guide. So we're going to be using the early days episodes to put together this ultimate edition of our first release and reissue that. Here's another thing that I'll say that we haven't said anything about. We have a shaped picture disc of that EP coming out around Christmas time. That's very limited to about 500. We're going to try and coincide this double disc release with that. If not, it'll be something that happens next year, but next year we're really focused on a lot of the new stuff. So, that is coming. So I'm glad to say another cool thing that we can say, we can share this news on here with you guys,
Thank you very much for sharing that with us. Thanks for all the time with subscribers zone, because I know it's lots of stuff, but I really enjoy it.
Thank you, man. It's a lot of work, and we really appreciate all you guys, man. Supporting us like this. This is it really does mean a lot, and it's we're able to do a lot of this. And Nesbitt's not here, but he's going to put this episode together, and he'll jump in. And he's on vacation this weekend in his cabin in the woods with his wife and kids. What could go wrong, right? So, but anyway, yeah. Thank you for that, man.
I wish this shit will be over very quick and we can do again a barbecue in the parking.
We will absolutely do that. Yeah. He's Armand knows. Yeah. He's all about, this guy's he's like the French tailgater, he's always got something happening in the festival parking lot, So anyway, all right, Olivier,
beer
thank you.
Tap and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Merci.
So that's another exclusive on this podcast. The first Night Demon EP is reissued as of right now. If you are listening to this, should go look that up online. It's limited to 100 clear red marbled vinyl, 30 white and red and black splatter vinyl, 30 black vinyl, 100 digipack CDs, and 100 cassettes. I'm pretty interested in those cassettes, actually. There's also some limited bundle packages available that include the EP cover t-shirt. So go check that out.
Okay, so moving on here. George Solano from Stamford, Connecticut. Let me unmute you here, George. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey,
you there?
What's up, George?
Cheers, guys.
What's up?
Hey, cheers, man.
And thanks for inviting me. This is pretty chill.
Yeah.
So I've been a metalhead most of my life, but haven't been a Night Demon fan for so long. Believe it or not, I got into the band because of the podcast. So I'm a big time Iron Maiden fan, and I listened to Nesbitt's old podcast every week. And once that series ended, I kind of just followed him to the Night Demon podcast. And it was pretty quick that I started seeing, there's something special here. There's like an energy and an authenticity to the music that not every band can really pull off when they go for that sort of classic sound.
Awesome. Thank you.
Dude, that's killer.
Amazing.
I'll tell you my kind of funny Night Demon story. So this happened one day. I was in my living room listening to Save Me Now. My fiance walks in. She sits down. She starts listening. And then she asked me, is this a cover of a Blue Oyster Cult song?
Oh, wow.
Because I don't really think you all sound that much like Blue Oyster Cult. And I don't think she meant it as a diss.
Hey, that's a compliment, man.
Absolutely.
It really surprised her that this young band from a genre she wasn't too familiar with was playing something that was so catchy. It sounded like something she could have heard on the radio.
Right. We actually, when we wrote that song, we were thinking about I was kind of thinking about like that album-oriented rock sound, and that's exactly where we wanted to take that song. So that's great. I mean, that is a good compliment,
That's the catchiest songs you guys have, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Thank you.
I think so too.
I've always thought that song was like a sleeper, like one day in 10 years, it'll like blow up and be the biggest song ever.
Yeah, right. Yeah, after we're gone, it'll be big. But
you never know.
One of us is gonna have to die.
But
there is a cover online. There is a Spanish band that did an actual music video covering that song.
And that band came to our show too, and they were like really nice.
Yeah,
guys. They were
in
really
Barcelona.
Nice, but,
they came. Yeah, but it was it's pretty good.
But hey, man, I mean, people cover songs, but they went as far as like actually creating a music video, not just like, hey, I'm covering this song. No, they went the whole way up. So I mean, that's pretty awesome, man. You got to say
A for effort for
something.
sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They had like an opening montage too, and this whole thing. So yeah,
full on, man.
Wow, I want to check that out now.
Yeah.
We'll put a link out there. So
yeah,
we should just share that on social media.
We should give them some love, man.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, George, is there a specific question that you had for the band?
Hell yeah. So let me tell you, one of my favorite parts of the podcast is learning about the music scene and the metal scene in cities I've never visited, like Cleveland or Hamburg, Germany. So maybe you guys can touch on some other cities where you found there's a really strong metal scene.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. That's one of those places.
Yeah.
That's one of those places again that we met up with one person there who was kind of like, a bigger guy in the underground scene. Well, I mean, at least he was in a cool band and he just had a lot of friends that partied and knew a lot of people. And from there, we just kept going there on every tour. If we had it, because the big tours don't go there. So if we had an off day, we would schedule and we'd drive out of the way and go play in a bar for free or whatever. And we met a lot of people, and we kind of there's like, again, we kind of helped spawn an emerging metal scene, and now we see other bands coming up out of there. So I'll say Tulsa.
And a lot of
I don't
times
know if you guys.
we would be going through like Oklahoma City, and Oklahoma City was like god awful. So
Terrible.
it turned out that we had this show in Tulsa, and our friend Mitch hits us up and says, "Hey, come in for a beer before your show," and that's really what started it. And then we ended up having a day off the next day, and then went and played a local bar, and that's really where it started. And ever since, it's been like one of our favorite spots. So it's like trial and error, to find these really cool spots, because there's few and far between in America for what we do.
What would you guys say are one of some of the better metal cities though?
Brooklyn's pretty cool.
A few. Yeah, Brooklyn's pretty cool. For as many people as in New York,
Austin's kind of cool.
Yeah. Austin's definitely.
Yeah, those are big spots. What'd
you say, Armand?
It's changed though. It's changed. I mean, the big cities are always going to be there, and it's like hit or miss. But the Tulsas and the Clevelands, and I mean, those are still big cities. But who would have thought Tulsa would have been a thing?
Right.
We never would have thought that. But
it's almost better.
Like, again, that's one of my favorite spots. I like that too. Yeah, exactly.
It's
I'd
almost
rather
better
it be that way.
outside of a big city, because even like Dustin's right, like Brooklyn's got a good scene, but man, the shows are small in Brooklyn. Like bigger bands, they play at like St. Vitus Bar or the Asheron, and it's like 250 people. It's like, come on. I mean, you're talking about how many millions of people live in that city. I mean, so it's really a weird thing. I would say that some of the smaller areas, where there's good local bands, there's
Kansas
good shows.
Kansas City.
And that's our thing too with this tour we're doing with Satan next year. Unfortunately we can't have as large of a touring package as we had originally had with Haunt and Bewitcher, because just the finances aren't there with the clubs anymore. So we've just decided to get the best local bands of those cities to open, and the known ones, and that just makes it for a better night anyway, So, but there's all kinds of, there's a lot of great places out there. You just have to be there. You have to play to the right people, and it's just crazy. There's so much noise out there now with the internet and everything running in the background all the time that you just have to be somewhere physically sometimes and see a real experience. So. Yeah, cool. Well, George, thank you so much. We're glad that you've come over from the Talking Maiden podcast and have actually become a subscriber and really gotten into the band. This is awesome. And I see you're wearing a Bewitcher shirt. That's cool. I actually managed that band, and Armand has produced their last 2 records. So it's good. We're always about turning people on to new bands. So,
Fuck yeah, guys. Well, keep up the great work.
Thank you, George. Man. And we will see you out there, man.
Cool. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
So I wanted to mention quickly this cover that the guys were referring to. The band is from Barcelona, and the band's name is Sweet Death. And I'll play a little clip of their cover of Save Me Now. So that's the audio, but the real meat of this is the video. If you go to YouTube and check out this cover, like Armand said, they made a full-on music video for this. It's not just footage of a band playing. It's like this little mini movie thing. There's this woman with a spell book doing satanic rites and a biker dude, and these robed I guess they're like these demon priests that are going to sacrifice someone. It's kind of trippy. It's a little cheesy in like a B horror movie way. I think it's really cool they did this. It's worth checking out. At the end of the video, it says how they did it as a tribute to Night Demon, who's one of their favorite bands. So the amount of work that went into it, I mean, they must love Night Demon. So check it out. Sweet Death with their cover of Save Me Now. And if you look it up on YouTube after you watch the video, I'd love to hear what you think. You can email me at Nesbit, Nesbit, that's Nesbit with 1 T, at nightdemon.net.
We are moving on. Oh, wow. Look at this. Lisa Logan, unmute your microphone. My mom.
Yeah,
Mom.
what's up, Mama Jer?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
What's up? Good to see you.
Oh, that's my stepfather, Mike, is there too, I see.
Hey, what's up, guys? Good to see you.
See, what better supporters than your family, right? You know.
Well, I don't know if we have the record, but we must be close to the record of seeing the most Night Demon shows. Maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. Some of you guys coming up. Let's see. Well, they'll let us know.
The recent memory I have was when the band played in downtown Los Angeles. And I want to say it was the Regent, maybe not the Regent. You guys blew the roof off that place.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see you guys live again soon.
Heck yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to wait.
To it.
Now, I remember that show. I remember somebody talking shit on Facebook because somebody was crowd surfing during In Trance. And I thought it was cool. Or like a pit broke out during In Trance or something. Mom, do you have a question for the band?
Not really.
She just wanted to see her son's face.
Hey, I got a question for you guys.
Yes.
How's Catalina?
Well, Catalina, our home is your home.
Oh, yeah.
And I would like to say some of the oldest fans of Night Demon, but we're also the oldest fans of you guys personally. So we love you all and can't wait to see you in real life. Come over.
All right. Thanks, Mom.
Awesome.
Yeah, so they live on Catalina Island, which is like 1 square mile of habitable space, right? Of like 30 miles off the coast of LA. And we're actually trying to put on a Frost and Fire there at some point. Hopefully October 2022 is the goal. So we're working on that. It's really great. That's a total island takeover, you know? So anyway, all right. Hey, thanks for limiting your time, guys. All right. Yeah, we got to move it along. Sorry. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We got to, okay, before he's too drunk, Steve Yoder, Satan's Den. Steve Yoder, please unmute your microphone.
Where is
I
this
hope he knows that. Oh, there he goes.
Where are you?
On the golf course.
In a golf cart? Oh, shit, man.
I'm going to have to call you back in a second.
Oh, what?
All right. What's up?
I got it on another phone, but I've got to get it working real fast.
All right. So we all know Steve Yoder. Everybody's heard the Satan's Den episodes, I'm assuming. So here's the man here himself, live from the golf course. Come on. What's up?
Plans and forgot.
Yeah, that's cool, man. No worries.
When I'm drinking.
You've earned that. Maybe. What would you like to say that you didn't say on your 2 episodes?
Probably not a damn thing. I don't know what I want to say.
That's good. Do you have a question for the band?
I'm going dead.
Steve, what do you think the chances are of the band doing a one-off show at Satan's Den before we go out and tour again?
When's that going to be? This year?
Well, I don't know. You tell us. I mean, like, would you host the band? Oh, he's gone.
He's gone. Oh, that's so fitting. You know, you ask a question like that, and then he just freaking.
Well, that was our comedic relief part of the episode.
That's great radio. He not only has a face for radio, but he also has the audio. So anyway, guys, yeah, like something like this, I could see us doing something like this at some point before touring, if possible, going to Satan's Den, doing a one-off, doing a festival, something like this where we kind of know the rules. We know what's going to happen. It's somewhat contained and accepted by everybody going. That's something that would be cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that may happen. Thanks, Steve Yoder, for that.
So there you go. An appearance by Jarvis's mom and a brief appearance by Steve Yoder, who you all know from the Satan's Dead episodes. Had some technical issues there. Jarvis hinting at a possible future Satan's Den show. So, I don't know. We'll see. We're about halfway through this Ask the Demon virtual hangout, and I'm going to have to wrap it up for this week. We have a lot more stuff to get into. I'll have to wait till next week. Some great questions about a future possible live DVD, and more exclusive news and kind of a breakdown of the content of the new album. Also some touring plans. There's some plans for a future Frost and Fire festival. So, lots more questions, lots more answers, and lots more exclusive news coming up next week. Until next time, this is Nesbitt signing off.
Save me now, 'cause I'm losing all control. Save me now, death is knocking at my door. Save me now, Lucifer has got a hold. My soul is gonna burn in flames. Oh no! Save me now, 'cause I'm losing all control. Save me now, death is knocking at my door. Save me now, Lucifer has got a hold. My soul is gonna burn in flames. I'm losing control, losing my soul. Save me now, 'cause I'm losing all control. Save me now, death is knocking at my door. Save me now, Lucifer has got a hold. Save me now, 'cause I'm losing all control. Save me now, 'cause I'm losing all control. Save me now, death is knocking at my door. Save me now, Lucifer has got a hold.
Thanks for listening to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast. Head over to nightdemon.net, click on the subscriber tab, and sign up to access exclusive weekly bonus content. If you would like to donate to support the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast, you can do so through PayPal at paypal.me/nightdemonmetal. Additionally, if you have not already done so, please subscribe, like, rate, and review the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts.
All hail, Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. This is Dusty Squires chiming in to tell you about my brand new signature sticks from the London Drumstick Company. I've dreamt of having my very own drumsticks ever since I was a wee lad, and LDC made that a possibility for me. Founded in 2016 in London, England, the birthplace of heavy metal, the London Drumstick Company has trailblazed a path through the music industry and taken the drummer world by storm. When I met them for the first time, they knew their product was going to withstand the beatings of a Night Demon show. They took the time to work with me on getting everything just right. The balance and weight of my sticks are the same no matter what, and the durability is bar none the best I've ever had. I know my sticks will last through the set night after night. I'm truly honored to work with a company that caters to their players the way LDC does. Their innovation and attention to detail is what separates them from the rest of the stick makers out there. Their custom stick sleeves are unbelievable and really make the entire presentation complete. Wait until you see the design they came up with for me. It blew my mind and was a surprise to say the least. They have all kinds of amazing swag, including hoodies, t-shirts, drummer shorts, drum keys, stick bags, towels, face masks, practice pads, and much, much more. Even if you're not a drummer, you can be a part of Demon history and order my brand new signature sticks direct from their website. How cool is that? And to top it off, the London Drumstick Company are giving an exclusive offer to the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast listeners. Go to londondrumsticks.co.uk and receive a 15% store-wide discount using promo code DEMONSTICKS. All capital letters, no spaces, Demon Sticks. DEMONSTICKS. I can't thank everyone there enough for the opportunity to be a part of their family and for them trusting me with their amazing products. See you metal maniacs on the road very soon. And yes, the wood chips will be flying.
Greetings, boils and ghouls. This is your comrade, the Crypt Keeper here, reporting dead from the sanctuary of the strange. Tonight's macabre myth is a fright-filled feature, one overflowing with monsters, madness, and magic.
Visit our website at monstersmadnessandmagic.com to stay up to date on all the dark dealings within the sanctuary of the strange. Enjoy the show.
Hey Metalheads, I'm Mark and I host Metal Forge. Let me tell you about the show. The Metal Forge features the best underground metal from all over the world. We spend every week with a different artist with interviews, in-depth conversations, and most of all, the music. We also feature audience interactivity where you can submit your questions to the upcoming guests. New episodes are out every Friday at noon Eastern Time at metalforgeradio.com or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Want to know what's going on in the world of music? Then tune in to the Nothing Shocking Podcast, a non-genre based, all-ages friendly rock and roll program. Join us weekly for interviews with all your favorite rock stars from the mainstream to the underground. You can find us at nothingshocking.libsyn.com or anywhere you download podcasts.
Okay, metalheads, you've been complaining that there has not been a channel that plays all of the heavy metal videos from past, present, and future for years and years at this point. Well, that time is over. Heavy Metal Television is back. HeavyMetalTelevision.net is the website. Go there. You can see videos playing 24/7, 365, all the time, all the best from the old school, the new school, and everything in between. Check it out, HeavyMetalTelevision.net. It is where the metal is.